What is happening, y'all boys? Today I'm gonna bring y'all a quick video, nothing too crazy. Just want to be talking about the Jenny a little bit. As you can see, it's super filthy, so we're gonna wash it. Let's hop into the whip. Car is actually filthy. I haven't washed it since maybe beginning of summer. To be honest, it's always raining, so it's not really worth it, to be completely honest. And haven't had the time either. But in this video, I'm gonna be talking about something that I think is a very controversial topic, which is the Genesis Coupe 2.0, is specifically BK2. I'm not too familiar with the BK1. I think it's slightly slower, but is it fast, or is it quick, or is it slow? Because everybody got their own opinion on it. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. Talk about power numbers that I've seen based on different Jennies and different setups. And then, yeah, I mean, that's really it. You can obviously do your own research, but if you don't feel like it, this is the video for you. Let's hope we don't scrape over here. Anyways, I will catch y'all when we get to the car wash. Before we wash the car, and then after we'll talk about it a little more. Alright boys, so we just made it to the car wash. We'll get the car washed up. As you can see, it's hella dirty. And then after that, by the way, don't mind the monster truck fitting right now. After that, we are going to talk about this car in speed terms, you know? It's not something too familiar on the Jenny, because Jennies, I wouldn't consider them known to be fast, but you know, we won't get further into that later in this video. So we'll catch y'all, pick the camera back up when this car is washed and dried, and yeah, hope y'all enjoy the content. We are finally done washing the car. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but shoot, in 4 months, bro, this is the best the car has ever looked in 4 months. Has looked in 4 months, sorry. Here I was looking clean. I mean, we are on a little uneven ground, but it's still looking clean. I do have a little thing I gotta adjust on the height, but other than that though, they're all looking pretty clean. As you can see, whipski looking clean. Let's get to what we came here for, you know what I mean? Power on this car, stock power. Says on the internet, wheel horsepower or crank, I think it is, I'm honestly not too sure, is 274. Now, I think it's really like 250, but they say 274 because when you go and get tuned for 93, it's supposed to be making about between 290 and 300 on the auto. On the manual, you'll be making about 310. So, the car from factory is not too fast, but it's quick. I think it's still decently quick, and it's fun to drive. And in manual, it's even more fun. So it's number one. Would I say the 3.8 is the faster car? Yes, it is. Which car has more potential after, a few $1,000s put in? It's gonna be the 2.0, because at the end of the day, a 3.8, you're gonna have to add a turbo. This one, you just swap out the turbo, right? You can still run everything else the same. All you do is swap out the turbo. But out the box, go with the 3.8. Like, that's a given, right? But the 2.0 is a few grand cheaper, so it also depends on your budget. Man, this is a nice view right here. Like, not really, but the car looks good. The car is carrying right now. Number two, when it comes to like tuning and whatnot, like I said, you should be expecting between 290 to 300. The only tune I know that's out for this car is Alpha Speed. I went with Alpha Speed and got the Go Tune for a 93. If I could go back, I still would have went to Go Tune. But if I really wanted the most power, I would have done custom and went on E85. But they said they only recommended that if you were going big turbo or if you were looking for power. And I was like, well, not really looking for power. I just want the car to be tuned. I wasn't really into the whole power scene. I was more into the stand scene, so I just really wanted the car to be tuned, have pops and bangs, and be able to hear the turbo really spiel up. So that's why I chose to go with the Go Tune. But if you really want the most power, you're going to want to go with a custom tune and go for some E85 and do whatever other modifications you have to do. But just with a downpipe tune, and I mean, you don't have to get into those, but those two modifications and a drop-in K&M filter, you should be around that 290 to 300 wheel horsepower on the auto, and on the manual you should be around 300 to 310. So yes, you can make the car pretty quick. You're still not going to get as fast as 3.8, but you will be able to take a few cars on the road, you know. You'll obviously beat majority of regular traffic, but like cars that you will compete with are like SIs, maybe some stock Type Rs. You're going to compete with Focus STs. You're going to gap at 4Ss. You compete with possibly some Zs, depending on what's done to them. You can compete with, I just raced tuned a Model 3, Tesla Model 3, and I beat him at the top end. So I'm going to say a Model 3, okay? A base Model 3 you can beat. I believe you can beat this car. I've beaten one. I think you can beat one too. So, that's, it's fast enough, for what you pay and what you're getting out of the car. I think it's pretty cool. So you're not putting too much money in, and you're getting a decent amount of fun power. Nothing crazy, of course. We're not talking it's a Supra. It's not a G80 or anything like that. There's a few cars, like I said, you'll be able to race and definitely beat them. I want to race a Tune 3.8, and I also want to set up a race with I have a friend that has a 2.0 that's not stock, but it's full bolts on, but no tune. I want to race him, honestly, and see what the difference is, how much of a difference there is in power, if I'm ahead by cars, or if I'm ahead by a quarter of a car, or if I lose. I really want to know. So I'm going to see if he's down to set that up, and I'll get that on the POV camera and whatnot. But yeah, so I'd say, this car is relatively quick, bro. It's not the fastest car. You're not buying this car for speed. You're buying this car because you want a luxury coupe. It's in your price range, It looks good. It's quick. Sounds amazing. And on top of that, people don't know what the hell this is. A lot of people don't know what a Genesis Coupe is. You know what I mean? They're like, what is this? I'm like, oh, it's a Genesis. They don't know it's a Hyundai Genesis Coupe. They don't know any of that. They just think it's some random, little supercar. Some people have told me this car looks like it's a 2017, 2018. I'm like, dude, this is a 2013 car. It doesn't look like it, but it is a 2013 car. You know what I think it was ahead of its time. It's definitely ahead of the VQs as interior-wise, in my opinion. Interiors look a lot better on here. Look a lot more luxurious, especially if you get the premium or the R-Spec. And 3.8 interiors only get better, in my opinion. So it is, a great car for what you're paying. But again, I wouldn't consider it fast. I didn't mean to get sidetracked, but I wouldn't consider it fast. I'd consider it quick, keep up a lot of cars on the road, a lot of 4-cylinders on the road. But of course, there's going to be a lot of cars that you can't keep up with. Few cars that I've beaten personally: EcoBoost, Model 3, SI 10 Gen, SI 9 Gen. I'm sure I'd beat an SI 8 Gen. Can't imagine not beating one. Kept up with a 5.0 for a bit. Was not going to beat him. Trying to think. Beat a GTI Mark 6 in this. Beat a Mark 7. Beat a decent amount of cars. I raced an STI. I gave him the work, but I did not beat him. Raced a WRX. I did beat him. So there is some cars you can beat in this car for sure. G35s, G37s, depends on which one it is and if your car is tuned and whatnot, what's done to that. But you can beat some cars, and there's a lot of cars you can beat in stock form for sure. But if you're looking for a super fast car, I wouldn't say the 2.0 is that car. But if you're looking for a car that's quick, clean, and pretty, reliable, I would say this is it. This is as quick as it gets, as in looks and power. All right, but again, I'm gonna be honest, it's not a fast car. It's just quick at best. And if you throw a big turbo on there, you can make it fast, but you're not gonna be in the 500-600 range, which is considered fast now. You might get into like that 450 range on some E. But yeah, that's my take on if this car's fast. But let's do a startup, and we'll get back on the road, get a few pulls, and then we'll end the video there. All right, boys. So that's a pull in auto. You know, the car it's quick, like I said, but it's definitely not gonna throw you back in your seat. Maybe a little bit, but it's not a high-end torquey car. And manual feels a little heavier on the torque because I feel like you're more in control of the gears. But as in, is it fast? No, but it is quick and it is fun for a daily car. I will keep it a buck with y'all on that one. Another thing I wanted to add is the car is kind of light. It's like 3,400 pounds is what it says, full weight. So it's not super light as like an FRS or something, but it's relatively light. So that's one thing. And I mean, it's in the 0 to 60 around like 5.4 seconds, something like that. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure with a tune you cut point something, maybe 0.5 off of that with a 93 tune. Again, I'm not too sure. I've never done it with this car. I'm just going based off internet numbers. But just as daily driving it for the last 2 years, I will say it's quick, but not fast. But fun and sounds amazing, in my opinion, with the setup I got going on. I love it. Not too loud, not too quiet, and I get to hear my turbo all the time. So other than that, boys, I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know in the comments what y'all want to see next, and I will catch y'all boys in the next one.